8:37 a.m. on June 17th, Los Angeles County Courthouse. Less than 2 minutes after an anonymous witness began her testimony, the courtroom was pierced by a moment no one saw coming. Judge Miles Radford slammed his gavel and issued a bombshell declaration, an immediate arrest warrant for Jennifer Lopez, effective now. Chaos didn't even have time to begin. Jennifer rose from her seat, locked eyes with the jury, stepped back slowly, and before law enforcement could even react, she turned, walked calmly toward the court's restricted staff-only exit, and vanished like smoke. Police gave their report in one cold sentence: "There's no doubt." She fled. But what froze the entire room wasn't just the escape, it was the testimony that triggered it. The protected witness, known only as Ms. D, claimed it was Jennifer Lopez who had invited her to the party. Jennifer planned everything. Jennifer knew the drugs would be administered. Jennifer knew where every hidden camera was. Jennifer was the one who led her into the room. In one breath, a woman once crowned the queen of Latin pop became the prime suspect in a system of coercion, surveillance, and psychological manipulation. With a single sentence, Hollywood's glow dimmed, and Jennifer Lopez, the headliner of the Super Bowl, was now a federal fugitive. Security footage captured her final moment inside the courthouse, stepping past the threshold, removing her sunglasses, pulling out her phone, and smiling. At 9:32 a.m., she emerged into the rear parking area, where a silver gray SUV with no plates was waiting. The driver wore a mask. Within 30 seconds, the vehicle sped off, bypassing multiple intersections and disappearing from surveillance in just 6 minutes, leaving no trace behind. By 10:12 a.m., the FBI had taken control of the case. A state-level arrest order quickly evolved into a federal warrant, amid growing suspicions that Jennifer had been tipped off in advance and had carefully orchestrated her escape. She showed no panic. No hesitation. She moved like someone who had rehearsed every turn. Her financial accounts were frozen, her properties flagged, her social media went dark, but Jennifer Lopez was gone. And now, the question isn't just was she involved? It's if this testimony is true, has Jennifer Lopez been a central figure in a covert network of victim luring and blackmail, hidden in plain sight for decades? At 10:48 a.m., amid courtroom chaos, Judge Radford abruptly adjourned the session after granting an emergency Class B felony warrant, stating the court had recognized risks of coordinated evasion and organized misconduct. Outside, the media frenzy divided fans into two camps. Some believed Jennifer Lopez was the victim of a political setup, while others called it the darkest stain on the feminist movement. One reporter asked, if a global icon can vanish within minutes, how many others have done the same, and gotten away with it? Meanwhile, Ms. D's testimony, broadcast over encrypted video, struck at the core. Jennifer personally invited her under false pretenses, greeted her at a Hidden Hills villa, drugged her, led her into a pink-lit room and filmed her via mirror reflection. Within a week, Ms. D received a blackmail email containing the footage and ominous threats referencing her family's private details. Metadata tied the video to a post-production studio J.Lo had used in 2021, with FBI investigators linking it to covert black budget payments via Caribbean shell companies. In under 20 minutes, Ms. D reduced J.Lo from peripheral figure to core suspect, delivering a bombshell: "I don't want fame, I just don't want this to happen to anyone else. Even if I die, I won't stay silent." Within hours, the FBI labeled Lopez an active co-conspirator in a federal case involving elite-hosted parties, secret cameras, and psychological manipulation, exposing a pattern of lawsuits dropped, sightings in surveillance rooms, and hush campaigns stretching back to 2012. A 2021 production assistant who worked on one of J.Lo's music video shoots says the moment Diddy's name entered the picture, everything felt off. Crew were locked out during breaks, cameras were forbidden, and Jennifer's dressing room had double-layered security. No one could enter without clearance. Then, beginning in 2022, another pattern emerged. Jennifer quietly shifted most of her assets into shell corporations, canceled multiple European tour dates without explanation, and dismantled her long-standing management team in favor of lawyers specialized in cybercrime and federal defense. Her claim that she was simply restructuring looked increasingly like a calibrated retreat anticipating an imminent collapse. Now, federal prosecutors have uncovered at least 2 current suspects saying J.Lo personally arranged guest lists for Diddy's private parties and handpicked women who looked promising. If Ms. D's testimony holds true, this isn't just a rumor, it's the moment when suspicion and evidence collide, placing Jennifer Lopez firmly at the center of a psychological exploitation ring, powered by music, alcohol, and hidden cameras. It's as if buried red flags have been exhumed en masse, lawsuits dropped, surveillance room sightings, covert studio offices, island shell companies, and now hard drive data including audio captured in Diddy's Calabasas villa that's reportedly 80% voice matched to J.Lo. She may have been the welcoming host, but now investigators ask, was she also the gatekeeper and, perhaps, the architect? With Diddy, one prosecutor said, it's money and muscle. With Jennifer Lopez, it's elegance, intelligence, and charm, what makes her far more dangerous, because no one ever suspects her. What's more terrifying? That this may not have been a one-off event, but a repeating, highly organized system protected by the faces we trusted most. By the afternoon of June 17th, mere hours after Jennifer Lopez vanished through the courthouse's rear exit, law enforcement escalated rapidly. The LAPD issued an emergency statewide warrant with third-tier priority, while the FBI's Celebrity Tracking Division, previously seen pursuing figures like R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell, took over. By midnight, a federal arrest warrant was active, listing her as a 54-year-old Latina, potentially fleeing aboard private jets or vehicles tied to shell companies. Meanwhile, all of her social media accounts were put under intense surveillance, her financial systems frozen, and properties from Miami to New York and Puerto Rico flagged. Homeland Security sources confirmed that within 10 hours, Lopez had become a top-tier federal person of interest, on par with organized crime suspects, although public reaction remained split. Some claimed a political frame-up, while others saw it as the collapse of a feminist icon. A petition for her public appearance topped 250,000 signatures in just 2 days, yet her team remained eerily silent. Investigators quietly launched international cooperation to track her if she fled to non-extradition countries like the UAE or the Maldives, where she had previously performed, citing a red-stamped memo. Suspect exhibits strategic mobility, possible high-level assistance in entertainment or finance. Industry insiders soon confirmed a cascading fallout, music and film deals paused, ad campaigns withdrawn, and brand partnerships severed. Netflix suspended a J.Lo documentary, YouTube disabled comments on her music videos, and Vogue, Rolling Stone, Billboard, and others scrubbed glowing coverage. Within 72 hours, a global icon had effectively disappeared, no public statement, no social post, no defense. Now, the question isn't did she do it, but how deeply were her roots entangled in this system? Headlines call her a federal fugitive, social media divides into #FreeJLo versus #QueenManipulator, and Hollywood's major players line up silently, parked in neutrality or distancing themselves in fear. The brands aren't taking chances. Coach, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, Revlon, each reviewing contracts and pulling her image. At its core, this isn't just the fall of a superstar, it's a psychological fracture in public trust. The narratives that once inspired millions are now fuel for doubt. How many smiles were genuine? How many promises of empowerment were just part of a trap? This is more than a scandal, it's the unraveling of a legend, and the foundation upon which she was built is cracking live before our eyes. Now, all that remains beneath the shattered glamour is a name, floating between justice and oblivion. As fragments of truth claw their way to the surface, the question has shifted. It's no longer where is Jennifer Lopez, but rather what have we ignored for far too long? What truly happened behind those velvet ropes, beyond the red carpets, inside the private rooms lit by charm and drowned in music? How many smiles masked silence? How many cheers covered cries? And how long was this hidden nightmare fueled by fame, power, and complicity allowed to thrive, right before our eyes? Speech balloon. Do you think Jennifer Lopez is the victim of a deeper conspiracy, or the silent architect behind it all? Backhand index pointing down. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Bell follow this channel. Outbox tray share this video. We'll return when the truth has no place left to hide.